All right, you guys, listen. So something literally just came to my mind, and it's something I have experienced, and I know a lot of people have experienced. Have you ever been used before? Like, meaning somebody came into your life, or someone that you knew for a really long time, whatever. They portrayed like they really liked you. They portrayed like, they were going to be there for you. They just gave you this sense, this feeling that they were a good person. And you're excited because you're like, oh, I met a new friend, or, I met this new cool person, or we seem like we're on the same page. Like, everything just feels great. And you being the person that you are, me being the person I am, you give them great energy, great vibes. You're supporting, you're cheerleading, you're just a really good friend. You are a pure person. You want to see them win. You want to motivate and inspire them. You really want to be the best friend you can be to that person, right? And over time, you start to notice that the energy isn't being reciprocated. But you being the person that you are, me being the person that I am, we give people the benefit of the doubt. Well, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm overreacting. Sorry, you guys, there's a car, the glare. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. You are such a good person. You are such a kind-hearted person that you blame yourself for feeling the way that you feel. And I'm going to tell you guys about that gut feeling, that intuition that I know we have all ignored at one point in time in our life. Okay? So, you're blaming yourself. You're seeing the good in this person because this is the thing. You have the God in you, right? People who are very pure-hearted, meaning they're not just being nice to get something out of someone, because there's people like that too. There are people in this world who portray that they're this really nice person, but deep down inside, they want something out of that person in return. No. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the people like myself and maybe like you, where you don't want anything. You don't need anything from anybody. You have all your stuff together, right? You don't need any money. You don't need rides. You don't need anything. You are literally just being their friend because you thought the energy was great. The vibes were great. You just felt like they were a good person too. That's what I'm talking about. So let's proceed. So, you start to blame yourself. You're like, it must be me because it can't be them, because you're seeing the God in them because you have God in you. Okay. And the God in you sees the beauty in everybody. No matter how ugly that person may be, and I'm not talking about physically, but mentally, internally, because you are such a pure-hearted person, you always see the good in somebody, even if they're always showing you who they really are. Okay. So over time, you notice it's just not, you start to get that vibe like, I don't think, it's not what I thought. It's not giving what I thought it was going to give. You start to notice you're doing more for this person than what they're doing for you. Not that you are keeping tabs, but sometimes you got to start keeping tabs. If you always are giving this person a ride, maybe you're always doing favors for this person, you're just giving out way more energy than you're receiving. That's the problem. That's not a friendship. Okay. And the relationship, friendship, whatever, just starts to go south. You really start to feel some type of way, but you keep letting it go because you want to keep the peace. That's what you say. Well, I don't want to argue. But let me tell you something about keeping the peace. You're only keeping the peace for them. You're not keeping the peace for you. Because inside, you are starting to resent them, right? You're starting to get mad. But you're so focused on keeping the peace for them that you fail to keep the peace for yourself. You're not speaking up. You're not articulating how you really feel. That's your fault. But beyond that. So, the relationship goes south. You might get into arguments. It's just not working out, right? And you're ready to walk away. You realize over the course of time, you know what, this is just not a friendship I want to be a part of. You know, we've talked about it. They're not willing to change. They're apologizing, but not changing. They're sticking to their old ways. You know, it's very manipulative. You know, some people just don't know how to see they're wrong, right? But it leaves me feeling used. Like, well, I'm more than money. Why do they only see dollar signs? Why did they only look at me as what I could do for them? They didn't like my personality. You know, it starts to make you feel bad about yourself. You know, it makes you feel like you're not worthy of pure-hearted friendships. It's not a good feeling. And for the longest time, because I've been used multiple times, and it's a couple of things here. One thing that I always do is I look at where I went wrong. A lot of times we're always ready to point the finger at the other person, but I think somehow, you know, you gain a lot of clarity and you really heal yourself when you can look at you as the problem. But not in the way that you might be thinking. Like, no, you really are only good for money. No. Ignoring your guts. There have been multiple instances where I have given people the benefit of the doubt, made excuses for them. Always said I was the one overreacting. You know, I'm overthinking. I'm reading too deep, right? And in the midst of saying those things, I was ignoring my gut. Hold on, the police right next to me. I don't want them to see me on the phone. All right. I was ignoring my gut. Can't do that. Can't do that. Your gut, your intuition, that's God speaking to you. And, you know, I've seen multiple interviews of some of the biggest celebrities who have said that every time they ignored their gut, they were right. Like, their gut was telling them what they didn't want to believe, and they come to find out that's what really was going on, but they ignored their guts. People give off energy. I'm big on energy now, you know, and I still struggle with it, but people give off energy, and God is always speaking to us. But once you realize that, okay, well, I went wrong, I should have not ignored my gut, but that still doesn't make me feel good as a person. Why do they only see me as monetary value? Why do they only see me as good for rides? Why do they only see me as good for information or good for connections or whatever it is that they're using you for? Why is that all they see of me? Don't they see I'm more than that? Don't they see I really am a good person? I really am a good friend? Right? And it starts to make you feel bad about yourself. It starts to, you know, make you feel like maybe I'm not a good person. Maybe no. Let's bring it in. This is the new perspective that I started looking at it as to help me realize that it's okay. It's not anything wrong with you. This is the perspective. Times are hard. Times have been hard. Not saying it's right, but I just want you to change your perspective. Again, I'm not saying it's right. A lot of people are unfortunately really, really struggling. A lot of people don't have money. A lot of people don't have resources. A lot of people don't have that go, that drive, that ambition. And so they see you or they see me as someone with one of those things. They want that because they don't have it within themselves. See, people only use people for something that they don't have. Think about it. If you have money, or at least if you have enough to pay your bills or whatever, and you're doing okay, do you need to use somebody for money? No, because you can do it by yourself. If you have a car, a reliable car, and you can get yourself back and forth to work, do you desire to use someone for a ride? No. If you are ambitious, if you are a go-getter, do you need to use somebody for their go-getting energy? No, because you have that. So instead of looking at it as, why do they not value me? Look at it as, why do they not value themselves? See, people can't give you what they can't give themselves. And that's where we tend to go wrong. Just like, let me give you another example. People will say, well, why do they talk to me like that? Why do they disrespect me like that? Why are they so mean? Because that's how they treat themselves. If you have been used, you know how it feels, because they pretended that they cared about you. They pretended that they liked you. They pretended all of these things. And it hurts because you wanted to believe that. But over time, you saw that that's not really what was going on. So you were in the wrong for continuing, right? I was in the wrong for continuing. I was in the wrong for not following my gut, right? We have acknowledged where we went wrong. But I encourage you to look at it from a perspective of, that's how amazing you are. That's how great you are. That's how resourceful you are. Because somebody took time out of their day and out of their life to get around you for whatever it is that they were using you for. Because you are resourceful. You can do it by yourself. You are who they wish they were, but could never be. When you look at it like that, you start to realize it doesn't mean that there was something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy of beautiful friendships. That's not what that means. It means that they saw you, they see that you have something that they don't have, and they wish they did. So that means you're doing pretty damn good. Just wanted to throw that out there. Like I said, I have experienced this. It doesn't feel good. You know, it makes you cry. Yes, it hurts your feelings. But just remember, people only use people who have something. If you don't have nothing, there's nothing to use. So, you know, I just wanted to share that perspective with you guys. Looking at it like that made me realize, you know, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm going to continue to be a beautiful person. I'm going to continue to be a giving person, a genuine person. But I'm also going to start trusting my gut. Always trust your gut. Your gut is God. And God is never going to steer you wrong. And the people who have to use people for stuff, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they're going to be doing the same thing. It wasn't just because it was you. If they run into someone else who has the things that you have, they're going to do it to them too. They're not resourceful. They don't know how to get money. They don't know how to be ambitious. They don't know how to create connections. They don't have these things. They don't know how to start. So if anything, they admire you. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be trying to use you. So, bye you guys.